Okay, I'm going to leave this thumbnail on the screen, and I want to assure you this is not clickbait. That face you see is probably as close as you're going to get to my real face that I had yesterday at 10:30 a.m., so about 24 hours ago, when I logged into my Planet Finance for the second or third time of the morning just to see how things were going, and found out that all of my crypto was gone. Yeah, so don't even know how to explain the feeling. Shock, obviously. I started shaking. At first, let's just paint a picture here. So I had checked my Planet Finance balances in the morning when I was at home with my phone as I was getting ready for work. It was just all fine. I transferred over some rewards to reinvest in the vault, and went to work. Brought my laptop like I usually do, so that I could connect from time to time throughout my work day and just make sure everything's good and transfer any new rewards and all that. That's part of the job of being a yield farmer, is you take your rewards and you decide if you want to recompound it or whatnot. So at around 10:30, I went in and hit refresh, and everything on Planet Finance almost said zero. It said I had $4. And of course the natural reaction is there a glitch? Is the server down? What's going on? I kept hitting refresh, kept getting the same numbers. And then I thought, oh, Jesus, I hope I haven't been hacked. Went to my MetaMask and clicked history and saw two transactions. One sucking all of my Aqua BNB vault or LP out. Second transaction taking all of my Aqua vault out. Now, let me just say before I go on, this is not a Planet Finance problem. This is a MetaMask problem. I'll say that now, so if you don't make it all the way through the video, I don't want you to think Planet Finance caused this. When you get into any decentralized finance, it's your wallet that is your key to get in there. Once you authorize your wallet to connect to that site, the site just knows that the wallet's been approved by the owner and all that stuff. So yeah, don't put any shade on Planet Finance for this. If what I think happened, it was my MetaMask wallet that was hacked. And therefore, they would be able to see, you can go on many sites where once you know a wallet number, you can see everywhere they've got money invested. So even if I had this on 5 different sites, yield farming instead of just one, they would have just gone to each site and taken the money out. And in case you're really new to crypto, you may not know that the blockchain is very transparent. You can see the transactions. So I saw the transactions go to a wallet, but by the time I went to look at that wallet's balance, he or she had already started sending it off to a bunch of different cryptocurrency exchanges, a bunch of different wallets, and poof, within minutes it was gone. Now, anybody who knows me from my Cruising Off-Duty Sailing channel, the off-duty kind of gives it away. Everyone knows that I am a police officer. I've been a police officer for 28 years. I have about 2 years left before I get to my 30-year retirement, and this money was a sizable amount of money that was meant to be my perk on top of my pension. I don't know what it's like in whatever country you're from. Police officers make okay money here, and we get a pension, which is nice, kind of a forced savings account all the way through our career. And it's okay. I mean, you can live on it, but you certainly aren't going to be able to travel and do things and have kind of more of a lavish retirement unless you have extra investments on the side. Years ago, back in 2018, I was really fearful of how much money printing there was going on ever since 2008 collapse, 2009. The government, especially the US government, was just printing money hand over fist, and I thought this is going to end badly. That was back in 2018. I already had a bunch of gold and silver companies as my hedge against inflation. I decided to get into cryptocurrencies, and I got into crypto back in 2018 when Bitcoin was about $6,000. So since 2018, I've been falling more and more in love with cryptocurrency, got into yield farming, just love doing that. It becomes like you are your own bank. You're making fees from people doing transactions when you create liquidity pools. It is awesome, and I still think it is awesome. So again, I don't blame Planet Finance. That is a great site in my opinion, but here is the problem, and I learned a lot, so I want to get this out to you guys. If you're using MetaMask, the way it was set up for me anyway, there's no 2FA, two-factor authentication. I still have a little bit of cryptocurrency on Binance that is locked in a staked. I have Solana. I wanted to keep Solana. Planet Finance doesn't yield farm Solana. In fact, nobody on the Binance Smart Chain yield farms Solana. I wanted to keep Solana, so I just left it on Binance. When you have it on Binance, it's like a separate wallet. It's not MetaMask. And anytime you do anything on Binance, you get this two-factor authentication. You log into Binance, it asks you for two-factor authentication. It sends a thing to your phone. You have to put the code from the phone into the website to confirm it's you, and yada yada. That's what MetaMask needed to have. In fact, Binance, if you try and change money out of Binance to another wallet like my MetaMask, I have to do kind of a three-factor authentication. I have to do my passwords on Binance, I have to do my code I get on my phone, and I have to get an email code. They're all different. So it would be really hard for a hacker to get in unless he has copied your SIM card on your phone, which you should know because your phone would stop working if they've done a SIM swap to another phone. And the way they do that is they call the cell phone company and pretend that they're you and say, oh, I lost my phone, it fell in the lake, and I got a new phone, here's my new SIM card. And if they can convince them you are you, they'll use the new SIM card as your cell phone number now. But obviously your old SIM gets discontinued, and therefore you would get the no service signal. So if you ever get that, call your cell phone company and ask them if anything's going on. If anyone's trying to switch a SIM. Also, you can call your cell phone company in advance and tell them, in no uncertain terms do I want anybody to call in and do a SIM swap. So there you go. So with phones, especially modern phones nowadays with Face ID and all that stuff, you can not only have two-factor authentication where it comes to your phone, but you can even say, I want Face ID or I want fingerprint ID, so that it can't be somebody who just like picked up your phone at a coffee shop while you weren't looking and somehow or other, knew how to hack your laptop at the coffee shop and got your phone and was able to do the two-factor authentication and get your money while you were daydreaming. So anyway, two-factor authentication is a must. So MetaMask doesn't have that. The way it works is you sign in. The first time you put MetaMask, the Chrome extension, on a new computer, it'll ask you for your seed phrase. That's the only other time you'll ever be asked for your seed phrase. Every time you use that computer after that, it'll just ask you for a password, like a word, and whatever you picked. And you will type it in, and boom, you're into MetaMask. And then it never times out. As long as you leave your laptop or your desktop open, you can walk away for hours and come back, and you will still be logged into whatever decentralized exchange you're on, and MetaMask will still be logged in. And you can even jump to other websites, other DeFi projects, and it'll just say at the top corner, do you want to connect your wallet? Yes. And then MetaMask will pop up and go, confirm you want to connect. Yes. No two-factor authentication to switch sites. And more importantly, no two-factor authentication to move big amounts of money off of Planet Finance into my wallet, which should have been asking me on my cell phone, you sure you want to do this? And then transferring it out of my wallet to another wallet. And these wallets, in case you're not aware, there's no KYC. When you create a wallet, you don't have to show who you are. You don't have to say your name, your address, your phone number. You don't have to submit government photo ID to prove you are who you are. You just go on MetaMask or SafePal or one of these sites and say, I want to create a wallet. And they go, okay, here's your new wallet number. What password do you want to create for it? That's it. So me saying, oh, I'm going to go after the person that took my stuff. It's a burner wallet. They create it, they scam people, then they close the wallet down, or they just never use it again. So you can't. It's the wild, wild west. This is the thing about cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance. It's immutable, which means once the transaction's gone, if you send your money to the wrong wallet, if something happens and you screw up and the money didn't go where you wanted it to go, you can't call the bank manager, you can't call whoever and say, can you reverse that transaction for me? I sent it to the wrong wallet. Gone. Only way I've ever heard anybody get their money back is they've sent it to the wrong wallet, and then they've put out a social media post saying, whoever has this wallet, I accidentally sent it to you, please send it back. And the person actually has, which is like a 1 in a million thing. So once it's gone, it's gone. There's no manager to complain to. There's no service desk to call. It's just plain gone. So that is the reality I have today. It does suck a whole lot because, like I say, I've been yield farming and being in crypto since 2018, so 3.5 years of building this up and building this up and building this up. Now, I have made a list of things I, in retrospect, now realize I screwed up. Maybe it's laziness, maybe I was super confident that nobody could get into my computer. I mean, it had to be that when I got onto a Wi-Fi. The only times I ever got on crypto when I was on a Wi-Fi, other than my home house, which only has a radius of pretty much inside my house, was when I was at work. There is an employee Wi-Fi, but it's for employees only. And like, so a hacker, and the radius of this Wi-Fi is literally inside the building. The minute you walk out to the parking lot, you don't have Wi-Fi. So if I checked my crypto while I was at work, which I did, that was a risk. My thought was, I'm in a police station. Why would a hacker be inside my police station putting out keylogger malware on the Wi-Fi and watching people come in and trying to put stuff on your computer? Just didn't make sense until you get hacked for all your money. And then you go, well, is it impossible? Is it impossible that it happened on that Wi-Fi? Maybe. More likely, when I have, if you've watched my sailing channel, I have a sailboat down in Kingston. The marina has a Wi-Fi, which again really only covers the docks. As soon as you get into the parking lot, start driving towards the exit, you lose Wi-Fi right away. So this would have to be somebody who got onto the Wi-Fi at the marina, saw people interacting with the Wi-Fi, started keylogging people's stuff and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not a hacker. I don't know how easy or hard it is. But there you go. So the first thing is, don't be on a Wi-Fi, especially a public Wi-Fi, and looking at crypto ever. So what you should either use is your phone, not on Wi-Fi, but on your LTE or your 5G or whatever, because then it's a straight encrypted connection to the cell company. If you have to use a laptop, if you're going to get on crypto or bank or anything that's got money related, you're going to want to do a hotspot to your cell phone so that you are connected just to your cell phone and nobody else is connected to your cell phone. And then you can then query your balances and whatnot. Oh God. But anyways, when I was at the boat, in case you're wondering why I'm using Wi-Fi at the marina, well, I spend a whole weekend there doing boat chores, and I might be watching NFL football on Sunday afternoon. If I'm still at the boat, I'll be watching NFL football streamed on my app I have that I pay for that streams football. I might be streaming it. Well, I can't do that on my cell data or blow through my whole data in like one afternoon. So I would go on Wi-Fi. But of course, with yield farming, every once in a while you're like, oh, I wonder how the crypto's doing, or I wonder if I should transfer some rewards over. So while you're already on Wi-Fi doing something else, you jump over to another page in your website to check your crypto, and there you go. So yeah, so that's it. No Wi-Fi that you don't trust. Always use your cell if you're away from your home, because at least it's way harder to get between you and the cell company if it's encrypted. Okay, so obviously number 1 too is don't use a wallet without 2FA. MetaMask, in hindsight, well, now that it's happened to me, it's just so obvious. One password, that's it, and then from then on you can do anything you want with my wallet, and I never get notified on my phone. Really, really risky. So what I've done is I ordered 2 SafePal wallets. Let me just pull up the SafePal website. Not that I'm getting any sort of kickback for telling you this, but let me just show you this. So this is SafePal. So it's a hardware wallet. It actually has a camera that can look at QR codes. It also has a screen which shows you, somewhere down here I saw it, which shows you what kind of crypto wallet you're in. You're in Ethereum, you're in Binance, you're whatever. Anyways, there's videos down here if you're interested of a bunch of YouTube creators that have done episodes on it, and I've heard good things. So I've ordered 2 of these. But I needed a wallet. I've heard this could take 2-3 weeks for these things to show up. And so I wanted a wallet in the meantime. So I got the SafePal phone app. Same idea. It uses your phone's camera for scanning QR codes, and you have to 2FA for everything. Seems to be just as secure as this physical wallet, but I'm going to do both. And then that way I can have 3 separate wallet addresses. My original one, that's one on my phone, and then 2 more physical wallets. And I'll talk about why you would want more than one wallet in a second. Yeah, number 2, don't leave your crypto page open and logged into your wallet and walk away, especially if you're on Wi-Fi. But even so, I mean, even if you're at home, is it possible somebody got on my home Wi-Fi? Who knows? Is it possible somebody looked over my shoulder while I was typing in my password at a public place, and I don't know. Highly unlikely, but anything's possible. But just don't leave your stuff logged in. And again, MetaMask should time out. If you haven't used the MetaMask in half an hour, log out. And if I go to do something and MetaMask goes, oh, you want to use me again? Then make me sign in again. So that way there's less likely of it constantly being logged in, which was the case. My laptop or my desktop at home, just Planet Finance was always on one of the pages and it was always logged in to my wallet. If it's sizable amount of money, have multiple wallets. So I talked about having 3 SafePal wallets, at least for now, maybe more in the future. Look at any wallet you have and look at the dollar value and go, if I lost this, I mean, I'm going to be super paranoid from this point on, probably for the rest of my life, about anything to do with leaving valuable information on a computer, because I just now think everybody can see everything. But just look at your wallet value and go, man, if it's enough money that if you lost that, it would ruin you for a while, then you need to get another wallet and you need to split it up into 2, 3, 4 wallets, whatever number of wallets you need to have the dollar value in each one be small enough that if you lost it, it is not the end of the world. Remember too, every wallet will have its own separate seed phrase, its own separate passwords. Don't use the same passwords on more than one email or more than one wallet. So that's what you got to do. Break things up. I was stupid. Over time, I just kept using the same wallet and growing my value and growing my value and growing my value. Obviously, in hindsight, that was a huge mistake because they crack one wallet, they've got everything. Write down your key passwords and your seed phrases and your passwords on paper. Don't write it on your notepad on your laptop, because if they hack your laptop, they can get into your notepad. Now, I'll admit another mistake. I thought I was being cautious. I had a notepad note from Apple Notes that I had a password protected entry. So when you're already in my laptop, you went to notes, that note was locked. You needed a separate password to get into that. That felt secure to me, but then again, now that this has happened to me, I'm like, well, if they cracked into my laptop, maybe they had some sort of keylogger or screen grabber or whatever that as I'm typing in my password for the note, they could see it. And then they can get in and look at the note anytime they want, which had my seed phrases. And I know in hindsight, I'm like, oh. So write it down on a piece of paper. Save it somewhere safe in your house. Make a duplicate copy. Save it off-site, like a relative's house, and have maybe 2 or 3, so that you don't want to have it just at your house. Because if you ever have a house fire and your house burns down, and your paper that has all your seed phrases and your passwords for all your banking and crypto, it's gone, and you're never going to remember your seed phrases. They're like 14 words long and all that stuff, and random. So it doesn't even the seed phrase doesn't even make sense that you can remember it, especially if you have 3, 4, 5 wallets. Now you got to remember 5 seed phrases. Don't use public Wi-Fi. I already mentioned that. Assume anything you save on your computer or in documents can be seen by everyone. So if you don't want the world to see what's in your documents, if passwords, anything that you think is sensitive, then don't save it on your computer. Don't have too much in one place. Now, again, this isn't a Planet Finance thing, but I'm sure I'm going to get some criticism where you had almost all of your crypto on Planet Finance. And I did for 2 reasons. A, they have a gamma drop coming soon. They have a brand new planet coming, and the amount of aqua you have at the snapshot will get you more gamma. So there was kind of a motivation to like load up on the Planet Finance site right now for this one-time opportunity. That's part of the reason. And the other part of the reason is right now, the APYs, the return you're getting on yield farming on that site compared to other sites is much higher. Like I could compare the exact same 2 coin combo on Planet Finance versus like ApeSwap or PancakeSwap, and I would get way more on Planet Finance. So it just became like, why would I take money off Planet Finance and put it on something that's substandard, right? And like I said, if they hacked my MetaMask password and seed phrase, or just my password if they were already in my computer, they could have just gone to every site I was invested in and done the exact same thing. So it probably wouldn't have saved me, but I'm glad I had some crypto left on Binance, because at least I still have that because it has 2-factor authentication. Okay, last one is kind of an overall. There are so many scammers out there. Even on my site, my new crypto site is not that big, and already there's been people cloning my photo, my picture, my round circle thing that shows me in the comments, my face with the same exact name, Cruising on Crypto. Now you can tell me from everybody else because the owner of any YouTube site has a black border around their name to show that they're the originator of the site. If you don't see the black border, it doesn't matter what they say their name is, because YouTube doesn't stop people from duplicating names. So there was somebody called Cruising on Crypto, pretending to be me, asking people, to, you want me to help you with your crypto? Give me a call on this Telegram or whatever. Don't do it. Or one thing, I would never, no YouTuber who's legit would ever ask you to call them or send you their seed phrase or send you their password. I've heard through the grapevine some people get conned into their favorite YouTubers willing to take them under their wing and I'll invest your crypto for you. I have this great process that I go through. So just give me your wallet information and I'll trade for you. I mean, right away, bells and whistles should be going off in your head saying, no way, that's legit. It isn't ever legit. So if somebody's asking you to call them on Telegram or they direct message you somehow through like whatever chat site and says, I'm so-and-so, let's talk about your crypto. Nobody's reaching out to people randomly asking them to give information. So always assume it's a scam. Also, watch out for fake sites. Planet Finance, actually, just yesterday or the day before, the people asked if I went on that site. Maybe that's why I got hacked, but I did not. There was a Planet Finance site that I guess if you went to Google and searched Planet Finance, that would show up as one of the hits. People went on it. It looked exactly like Planet Finance. I mean, these scammers are putting so much time into this. It just blows my mind. They could put their big brains for a better use, but they created a Planet Finance duplicate site. But when you signed onto that one, it asked you for your seed phrase, which I mean, right away, obviously that's not real. But people got fooled. People thought, oh, now, and they would say, oh, the Gamma airdrop's coming, but we need your seed phrase for your wallet in order to deposit it for you. And some people are just like, okay. And they put their seed phrase in and they lose all their money. So many scammers in the comments of every YouTuber that's doing crypto, scam. Just be prepared. I mean, not to say don't go to the comments, because you can tell legitimate questions and answers from me, which is, valuable for learning. But anybody who's asking for you to call a Telegram number, I try and delete those as soon as I see them, but clearly there's days where I might go 2 or 3 days and not look at my comments, and those comments will be sitting there for 2 or 3 days, sometimes pretending to be me, and I'm afraid people are falling for it. So there we go. That's pretty much all the points I had. I'm sure there'll be some comments below about how I also screwed up doing this or I also screwed up doing that. Just remember, guys, it's salt in the wound. Salt in the wound. Lost a lot of money, like life-changing money, and I'm just gutted about it. I'm sad, of course, for me, but I'm more sad for my wife and my family that have been kind of seeing the numbers growing and getting all excited, and we're 2 years away from retirement. So yeah, that hurts more than my pain is seeing other people being disappointed. What I am doing though, I gotta say something about Planet Finance that's been great. It is really the only DeFi project I've ever been in where I feel like it is a family environment. When I got on there, I went to their Telegram group to ask a few questions or just look at other people's questions to learn. And their main Telegram page is awesome. Although they've grown so much. When I first got on, it was like 1,500 people. Now it's like 4 or 5, who knows, I haven't checked lately, 5,000 people. So now the comments are just flying by. It's hard to keep up with. It's like a full-time job if you want to read every comment. And on that main page, it's a lot of newbies, a lot of new people getting on there. They're not sure how to connect their wallet. They're not sure how to do this. And so there are admin people in there that kind of help the site by answering those common questions and walking people through it. So if you go to Planet Finance and you don't know what you're doing, then the main Telegram page is where you go. What they don't advertise is that once you're experienced and people kind of know what you're talking about and you're answering very intelligently, you sometimes get invited to go to this other page called the astronaut page, which is like 160 people. None of them in there are new. Everybody knows what they're doing, and they were really just exchanging ideas on Planet Finance and other DeFi projects that might be coming, but mostly Planet Finance because it was kind of a Planet Finance alternative site. And then I created my own Telegram group where people that I'd been DMing with every day, one-on-one, a lot of people were DMing me, asking me stuff, and I'd respond, and then you get a good kind of like that friendship. And then I decided, well, I should just create my own Telegram group to keep, instead of one-on-one talking to people, let's get a group. So I have right now, I think 14 people in my own personal Telegram group. And I'm not a crier, but sometimes the warmth I get from the Planet Finance different Telegram groups does bring a little bit of a misty eye to me, because so much warmth came to me. I created a new SafePal wallet. I'll put it in the description down below. If you've gotten value, like a lot of people said, oh, you're the reason I came to Planet Finance. I learned so much from watching your channel. It's heartbreaking. You lost everything. Can I throw a few shekels your way, a small amount your way to help you get back on your feet? So I created the SafePal new wallet number, and I'll post it in the comments. If you feel like it's a tip jar, great. That's what I'd rather consider it. I might do it going forward. I don't have Patreon or any of these things where you can support the channel financially, but maybe what I'll do from now going forward is I'll just put that little tip jar wallet there if you found value in the video, or in this case, I hate to say it, if you feel sorry for me a bit and want to help me get a little bit back so I have some money back in Planet Finance that I can yield farm, you can drop it in that wallet. Obviously, no requirement. Anybody who's doing it, thank you in advance. It's there if you want to do it. Again, I'm going to do more episodes on Planet Finance and the new Green Planet. That was what I was waiting for my next episode to be, was imminently Green Planet with the lending and borrowing is going to open. It's going to open a whole new wing to Planet Finance, which is super exciting. I can't wait, but all this anticipation, I can't wait. And now I have no money on Planet Finance. I always say happiness, health, and wealth in that order. And this is a glaring example of why it's got to be in that order. I've lost the wealth, but I still have my family. I still have my job. I can still put food on the table. I still have a pension that I'll be able to lean on in my retirement years in a couple years. So it's not the end of the world, although it feels like it at times. So happiness, I still have. Health, knock on wood, I still have. Wealth, well, I'll have to build it back over time, which sucks, but it's got to be done. So until next time, this is Craig signing off, wishing you happiness, health, and wealth in that order. Ciao for now.